On today's rendition of Arisu is Still Sick, we're playing The Summoning, which is made by the same people who made WTF is Wrong With You and The Test. Those games that I very much enjoyed. I've just been kind of going through and playing all of their games because, you know, it's kind of fun. So let's go ahead and start a new game here. You've taken it upon yourself to indulge your curiosity by plunging headfirst into this game, otherwise known as The Summoning. Except, this isn't a game. I need you to listen and read very carefully, as I'll only get this one opportunity to explain things for what they are, and you'll only get this one chance to comprehend it before continuing onward into something you might not entirely be prepared for. Before continuing on, you will need a few things. These items are absolutely imperative to your task presented during this session. If you do not have these things, you're wasting your time entirely. It is highly recommended that you play this game with headphones to get the full experience. If you do not have headphones, you may opt to continue anyway, but you'll absolutely positively should have your volume at a suitable level, whether you like it or not. Oh. You will need a mirror or access to a mirror, such as in your bathroom, a piece of paper, writing utensils, a pen, a marker, or anything else suitable for writing. Access to a dark room with absolutely no lights. Most importantly, you need yourself. Well, what I can't do is turn off my lights right now, so 1 second. Unfortunately, it can only be so dark in here because it is midday, and I have a window, regardless of if the blinds are closed, so it's just dark in here, so it's going to get. I suppose there is a mirror, but if I need to look at myself at any moment during this game, I can use my phone as a camera, because the mirror is across the room, and I have actually a pen and a paper within reach on my desk. So we have got everything that the game says that we need for at least during this step. And let's be real here. You also need an open mind. You may be one of those skeptics that like to mock things like this, or perhaps you're just insecure with your deeply ingrained personal fear, so you're putting on a macho act. However, money was spent on this experience, and if you F this up, you won't get your money's worth, so it's your choice. With that being said, this isn't something to be taken lightly for more reasons than it is simply not working. Not working in this case isn't just nothing happening. It could also mean very bad things happening. Just listen. Have you ever thought about contacting help from the another realm? Things that were here long before we were? Things that walked among us, people we once knew that are now gone? Perhaps things that never walked this earth in human form at any given point in time. What you are about to do is not for the weak of mind or the faint of heart. You may think this is complete and utter bull. You may even think that if this is real, you've got no spirits or entities looming around your residence anyway. Therefore, you've got nothing to come in contact with, even if this is real. Well, let me tell you something. This is very much, in fact, real. And you do have entities lurking around you, whether you've noticed it or not. One second. Okay. You see, entities can come. Yeah, sick. You see, entities can come along at any point and any time for many different reasons that you'd never even think about. For example, we are struggling today. For example, do you own something you've not made yourself? A pair of clothes, shoes, a hat, a second-hand item of sorts passed down by a relative, perhaps acquired as a used or pre-owned object from a thrift store. Or maybe you don't live alone. Maybe someone in your house owns something that fits this description. An ornamental plate, a cup, an article of clothing, a used book, a box, anything that was owned by someone that could now today be deceased. Either way, even if none of this fits your lifestyle, guess what? Spirits can travel a lot further than you think. Do you have neighbors? Well, if they're haunted, so are you. The spirits haven't been invited in properly to make themselves acquainted. Yet. With that being said, what you're about to embark on is by far the realest experience you will ever get to have in your life, if done properly. Now, there are rules, of course. For example, you've got to be alone. If you're not alone, the person with you must participate. If they refuse to participate, they must leave. If you do not follow this instruction, this will not work. If you start this process and you don't see it through to the end, this will not work. If you do not follow every instruction clearly and concisely, or do not heed every warning, this will not work. Or worse. It is of paramount importance that you follow every instruction exactly as written. This is not one to be taken lightly. This should not be mocked. You get only one shot at this experience. Do not mess it up, or you will not be able to attempt it a second time. Before we continue, I'd like to explain that by venturing forth into this experience, you acknowledge that all supernatural damages or otherwise ill effects of any kind is entirely your own liability. By continuing on, you acknowledge and waive all liability on my part. I will not be held responsible for anything that does not happen to you, your belongings, or to those around you during this session, or at any point onward once the session has come to a close. Once you start, you may not stop until your session is complete, which could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour or more depending on how slowly you go, but you must complete your session, no matter what happens. By acknowledging this disclosure, you agree with all terms written thus far. By backing out now, your session will end immediately before it's even begun. Do you accept these terms? You've accepted the terms and conditions as well as full self-liability for anything that may occur from this point forward. Now, just a reminder, you're going to need a few items as previously mentioned. You need a mirror, a piece of paper, a writing utensil such as a pen, marker, or anything else suitable for writing, access to a dark room with absolutely no lights, and most importantly, you need yourself. If you're alone, great. If you're with someone, they must, and I repeat, must do everything as written alongside you. If this means speaking out loud, you both recite verses simultaneously in unison. I will write various instructions for you to follow. You'll go around the room from place to place, interacting with all objects in the room until everything has been found. This part is crucial. If this does not work, it is because you did it wrong. Whether this is an unintentional misstep or a subconscious attempt to mess things up for you out of fear of what may come as a result of the following instructions properly, it is 100% your own fault if this does not work. The first thing you need to do is you need to have all lights, and I mean all lights, completely turned off. You should have nothing that provides any level of light other than the device you're using to read these instructions right now. The second thing is you need to be alone or with willing participants. Your door must be closed entirely and you must not be interrupted during the session. You'll need to have these items mentioned firmly near you for when they are called upon for use. A quick warning before we begin. Do not, and I repeat, do not light any candles. You may think you're making an atmosphere more spooky. You may have read or seen on television that lighting candles can aid in summoning spirits. Just don't. Not only do you not need candles, but all you're doing is giving them another weapon to potentially use against you, especially with this experience. Do not play with fire. You will regret it. Again, you've only got one chance to embark on this experience. What you get out of it is entirely what you make of it. If you have a closed mind, if you're acting tough in front of your friends, mocking the instructions, or belittling the powers that be, I feel very, very sorry for you. With that being said, this is it. Are you ready to continue? Let's begin. Very well. You've been warned. You may begin exploring around the room at your convenience. Witches were burned at the stake throughout history, but so were many innocent people who are mistaken to be witches with very little evidence. The spirits of those wronged became malevolent and were far more dangerous than the witches who were burned, as the witches' souls often passed on much quicker to the other side, while the innocent souls sought vengeance for the wrongdoings of their peers. Some of them have a message to send. Some of them want you to hear it. Some of them are around you right now. Listen, but do not speak. It is very common for crystal balls, crystals in general, glass, and even mirrors to be used in rituals. Throughout history, stories tell of the deceased being able to communicate through mirrors and glass, and even move between them to contact the living and visit them, oftentimes without their knowledge. If you've ever looked into a mirror and you could have sworn you'd seen something move, you did. That was an entity trying to pass the mirror into your surroundings, or an entity that has already passed through and is currently making its presence known to you. The next time you see something move in a mirror, try blinking rapidly. This will allow your eyes to pick up any major movements it is attempting to disguise. It may also want you to know that it's there, but that doesn't mean that it wants you to know exactly where it's hiding in your room. If you can't take any more, you can end the session here, but please heed my warning. Once you've already started, you're much better toughing it out and finishing. Just me, something is lingering. Maybe you can feel it, maybe it hasn't made its presence known yet, but you cannot send it back. Send back what has come through without finishing the session as agreed upon in the pact. I pass it if you wish to end the session. You'll have to start the... Okay, now I'll tough it out. This is the smartest decision you have made. The spirits hate cowardice and wasted time. Only the brave will prevail. Dolls and stuffed animals are a prime target for malicious spirits to use as a conduit into our realm. It's very easy for spirits to attach themselves to any object, but they choose these ones because they're often given plenty of affection and attention from the living. If you've ever placed a doll or an inanimate object in one place only to come back and find it in a different position, even though you could have sworn you placed it elsewhere, then you might be targeted by a malicious spirit. As many people think this is an act of playful spirit, I assure you there's no such thing. This game is very loud. Hold on. Don't want to bring as much attention from you. They want to bring as much attention from you to the object as possible, so you continue to look at it, waste time trying to recreate it just to see if it moves again. But it very rarely ever does it? No, of course not, because then you throw it out. They don't want you to know. Quickly, I don't have much time to write this. Take the paper you begin with, whether it's blank already written on, and draw an X through any word on it immediately. I don't have any words on it. If the paper is blank, draw an X over any word as you write on it from this part forward. I pray you find this note. You will thank me by the end of this. Well, I don't have words written on it, but I have actually technically hiragana. There we go. There we go. Oh. Something fell. A bard writes tales of legends true, a wicked man's deeds and witches brew, a hero held by morning light and souls as pitcher's night, a cantor told a ballad sung, a life taken and a bell rung, a widow made an innocent slayed, ne'er a word spoken from severed tongue. Please read very carefully, as this is of utmost importance to get through this experience with your sanity intact. I'm going to give you very clear and concise instructions, and you're going to follow them exactly as they're laid out for you. You're going to need to write some things on a piece of paper for this to work. Use some paper for every ritual. Once you have this piece of paper ready, draw the symbol shown as best you can. If you perform other rituals, make sure you use the same piece of paper to draw over what you've already written. Okay. After you've drawn the symbol, write a word in each corner of the paper. The words you will write are as follows. Yes, no, murdered, evil. My corners are kind of scribbly, but... And the things have to mark an X through each of the words are right, so I'm going to do that too. Once you've chosen which corners you wish to put each of these words in, draw a circle around each word and crumple the paper up into a ball. Circle. 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 And crumple the paper up into a ball. Place the paper in front of you. Place one hand on the paper palm first and the other hand on top of the hand you're using to touch the paper. Now that you're resting on top of the paper, close your eyes and recite these words aloud. I invite the spirits here with me to answer these questions 3. You may open your eyes after you say the words aloud and ask questions to the spirits. You must ask 3 questions total. Not 1, not 2, not 4, and 3, and only 3. The questions you ask refer to the spirits in some way, such as asking how they died or something about them, and they can answer with a simple word. Be careful when you ask, you don't want to, in fact, offend them. So if you ask a question, close your eyes and crumple the paper and lay it before you. Place your fingers along the corner of the paper and open your eyes to uncover the spirit's answers to your question. Repeat this process and draw a line from each answer given to the symbol you've drawn on the paper. If the same answer is given multiple times, draw a separate line to the symbol each time. Now you're ready to proceed, or would you like to hear the instructions again? I'd like to hear the details again. I invite the spirits... I can't remember that. I invite the spirits here with me to answer these questions 3. Okay, so yeah, I did do that right. Open your eyes. Ask a question to the spirits. Not 1, not 2, not 4, 3, and 3. Only the questions you ask to reference the spirits in some way. Be careful. Once you've asked the question, close your eyes and crumple the piece of paper and lay it before you. Place your fingers along any corner of the paper and open your eyes to uncover the spirit's answers to your question. I'm ready to proceed. Very well, then. Do not proceed any further past this point until you've completed the task, and I wish you best of luck. If you, at this point, you've probably completed the task, do not proceed past this message if you've not completed the task. Instead of fixing what you could have set in motion by skipping this trial, do not press anything until it's complete. Okay. So... Are you good? Well, the answer I got for that one was murdered, apparently, so that's not good. Was somebody supposed to re-crumple it every time? I don't know what to ask. I don't know what I'm supposed to be asking. Are you happy? Pulling out some Phasmo questions here. Evil. That sounds about right to what Phasmo does. Okay. And then the last question. What should I ask? Are you here? More Phasmo questions. Let's do this. Yes. Okay. So there we go. If it is complete, congratulations. If it isn't, I'm sorry. Remember to use that same piece of paper for all rituals. This is very important. I'm here. Sometimes the dead leaves notes for us to find. The soul knows when the soul goes. Whether it minds do or not is another question. If you've ever found a note written by a loved one who's gone away, ask yourself if it was written before or after they're gone. It's far more likely you'll receive a silent phone call nowadays, such as more spirits were once people who have learned to adapt as such. Whoops, accidentally clicked off. Huh, I appreciate the door knocking sound. Thanks, friends. Is there a door in this game that I'm supposed to open? Oh, I guess it said not to open it, though. Have you ever looked at the clock at the same time every day? 3 every day, 1 1 every day, 9 11 every day. Regardless of time, it's often the same, but why? When a soul is left on the earth after the body has perished, it will continue to communicate with the living by subconsciously reminding a person to look at the clock over and over again. This is to let them know the hour of their death. Something is trying to communicate with you at all hours of the day, attempting to squeeze as much as the information through your psyche as humanly possible, because they're the only hope of salvation in the afterlife. They will not stop until they have your undivided attention. Huh. Many of the notes you'll find hidden around this room are straight from real occult books used in actual rituals or hundreds of years ago to bring forth things to our realm, or stories inspired by those fairy tales and legends written in such books. Once you've started something, you must finish it. Leaving a gateway open without properly closing it can be extremely detrimental. Upon agreeing to the pact we started, something was opened. The only way to close what was open is to finish what you started. Stay strong of mind and will. This will all be a breeze. Falter and you will fail. Please read carefully as this is oh. Hmm. I can't really do this because I don't have a dark room for that. I'm proud of you. Do not proceed any further past this point until you've completed the task at hand. I don't really have a dark room to do this, so, not sure what the game wants me to do there. I mean, I could use my bathroom, but at the same time, my bathroom, like, it's not very great at blocking out the light. So, I feel bad, but I guess we're skipping this part. If it isn't, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I can't do anything. If you heard any noises, write down what they were on the piece of paper. Use the same paper. If you heard noises, just write silence. I'll write silence. You can see their faces in the flame. That's not creepy at all. Sorry, game. I'm limited. I'm not your enemy. I cannot find time to leave these messages, warnings, and notes around you. I do not sense their presence near at the moment, but they will come back. They always come back. I'm sorry to all who have begun this journey. I urge you to complete it. They want you to stop it prematurely. They want you to not follow through with your pact, with your agreement. I do not want this for anyone, for those who get themselves into something beyond their imagining. If I did not follow through with their beckoning, they would never let me sleep again. If you've made it this far, you've done well. Keep going. Do not falter now. The rituals are simple. They test out your will, but do not cut, do not run early, do not skip any points, and do not think you can escape if you do, they will come. They're already here. If the one major person is known to you, then you already know how bad it can get. If she's lurking but you have not seen her yet, what if you do not, and I repeat, do not spit. I'm watching you. Would you dare leave your feet hanging off the bed when you sleep at night? Most people wouldn't. There's a very good reason for that. Oftentimes, the most evil spirits will rise from the floor when a victim is sleeping and grab their feet to wake them from their slumber. Sleep is one of the most important necessities when it comes to keeping sanity, and it's incredibly important for the mind and body and soul to recover. If a spirit is aiming to haunt, infest, or even possess a living soul, they target the victim's sleep to disrupt them when they are most vulnerable. This happens more often than one would remember. If you're going to let this happen to you even once, it means that it doesn't mean it only happened once. It just means that there's more times that you don't remember. The living soul only remembers being woken when the spirit is strong enough to generate enough force to wake their victim. But this generally means that the spirit is already at a level of power that can cause real harm soon enough. They've been trying to wake you for a while. They just weren't strong enough yet. If you ever wake up out of the blue and feel someone's eyes on you, that means the spirit's strength has grown so strong they don't need to touch you to disturb your slumber. This is an incredibly dangerous circumstance to be in. The worst building stage of them all is being woken up out of sleep by hearing a voice call your name, oftentimes a familiar voice like a family member or loved one. If this starts happening, that means the soul is able to beckon your soul directly. It's trying to communicate with your soul to trick it into leaving your body while you sleep, so the spirit can enter your body and possess it while you're defenseless, leaving your soul to wander the spirit realm, lost and alone. This is often confused for sleepwalking, and victims can result in horrible outcomes. Spirits often attach themselves to sentimental objects such as jewelry in many cases. Sometimes they will pick jewelry up and carry it to another location. This is done to either bring attention to the living and annoy the person frighten them, or sometimes they will simply not want the person to have jewelry that resembles something close to what they wanted during their life. Necklaces, bracelets, and rings are often found haunted, as many people have died not only while being previous owners of said items, but during the dangerous process of gathering precious materials, metals, and gemstones in order to craft the jewelry itself. Tragedy often breeds the most malevolent of spirits, especially when love is involved. Be very wary of those around you. You'll feel them. You'll feel their intent, and you'll feel the sense of warmth clouded by freezing cold and malice. Do not tempt fate with a scorned lover's spirit. Respect them always. They're hurting, and they may want you to hurt as well. Some literature suggests that as target of supernatural harassment feels short of breath, it is often due to a spirit that died as a result of hanging. They wish for you to know more about them. They make their presence known and teach you of their history and life, rather than merely knowing them in death. This also applies to those who have died due to head wounds and their targets getting massive head rushes or pains, according to many books. However, not all spirits just want their presence to be known or just want you to know what happened to them in life. Some of them have truly malicious intent and wish for you to feel their pain or reasons of spite, simply because they're envious that you're still alive. Oh my god. That startled me, I'm not gonna lie. That got me. A bow witch by the name of Helga von Steen was once the owner of an occult book that much more information came from. She wore a black veil over her face, and the first and only husband was taken from her, making her a widow. Her husband meant more to her than anything in the world, and she would have given anything to have him back, so it was said that she made a deal with Lucifer himself to offer sacrifices in return for her husband's soul. Ooh, spooky. She would never obtain a physical body for her husband again, but she was able to speak with him using mirrors and rituals. Meditating, seeing him in the corridors of her mind, she'd lay down to rest and communicating through scribing on paper using the symbols and words. In return for being able to speak with him nightly, she would place evil curses on the houses of their village and that sent her husband to his death. And when they grew sick, she would drag their bodies to her home in the woods and sacrifice them using horrible, wicked, disturbing methods of torture. However, when the village was long gone, Helga remained. She had to keep up her end of bargaining. She would need to find fresh souls to sacrifice to Lucifer if she devised a plan. She wrote a book of rituals and spells that spent her time copying it over and over and over until she had enough books to place in many towns where someone would find it. When she passed on, her debt would still be paid, so these rituals would be a way to open the gateway back to the living to haunt potential victims so that she may appease her debtor. So as the unknowing victims would read and act on these rituals for various reasons, she would begin to haunt them and make their presence known, attempting to communicate with those she would haunt, until they found a way to break the curse that had inflicted upon themselves by falling for the treacherous trick of Helga's rituals. Cool. You can feel her coldness in the air, sense her near, and feel her stare. Upon her rotten corpse does bear a symbolic conduit of despair. Once she's here, she doesn't go until she pays the debt she owes. When you gaze upon her face, she'll take you to her secret place. So is Helga supposed to be the person that, like, flashed on the screen a second ago? It can be extremely dangerous to mock or make fun of supernatural entities. If you challenge them, they will respond. Not when you want them to, when they choose to. You have to understand that many of them have been around for the dawn of man, so a human lifespan is a blink of an eye to them. They have unending patience and have nothing better to do than sit and wait for the right moment to turn your entire system upside down. They'll wait until you're comfortable, while quietly snickering to themselves, watching every move you make, listening to your taunts, listening to your words, hearing your challenges, and wait for the moment when you're most vulnerable, most cocky and arrogant. They'll take everything dear to you away forever. Ugh, what is that noise? If you hear her voice, do not answer. If she cries, do not ask what's wrong. If she laughs, do not run. If she touches you, do not flinch. If she shows herself, do not look. Spooky. Talk to me. Many people believe that the only way to make sure the dead stay dead is to salt the corpses before burial. A salt is often used to bind a spirit and keep it from coming into our realm. Ah, schniffly. Super schniffly. Appreciate it. I assure you, salt does nothing. I've tried it. I've tried everything. Salt does not stop them. There's a very specific way things must be done. Always. Many known cases of hauntings, especially those who are of the most malevolent in nature, have been linked to the same symptoms in victims repeatedly, such as a deep level of unexplained depression and anxiety that seems to come from out of nowhere. Be mindful. If you feel like something is near making its presence known to you, if you're suddenly struck with fear, dread, panic, worry, nervousness, and you can't seem to shake it, you may be under a supernatural attack. If you want to desperately get out of your house, but you feel inclined to stay there, but can't explain why I've asked, such as your family or friends want you to go to social gatherings and you'd love to go, but you've been incredible amount of social anxiety or stress when you think about going, as if you're bound to your residence, then you may need to take a really good hard look at what may be going around you, especially when all other avenues do not seem to be helping. It wants you isolated, it wants you weak. Ugh, I don't like that sound. Watch it very carefully. You didn't know its history. You didn't know who might have come and owned it before you. Might have come in contact with it, what magics might be at work, what spirits might be attached, or who might have died in the factory during its creation. Cool. The voices are not here to help you. Keep going. If anything has moved around your room since the beginning, let's just know that cannot harm you if you do not let it. Keep an open and strong mind. Continue onward. Can you hear them calling yet? Hopefully you've continued to complete this job. If you're not, continue on. Concern yourself not with the scribes of evil. She's here. Don't stop. You must not stop. You are not stronger than them. Not long now. Keep going. Drink the numbers it seeks to divide. She will take what's yours, give her what she wants. Her breath on your neck, it will chill your spine. A crystal ball can be used as a tool to tell your past, present, or future, but only you can decide if the actions to take change any of it. Proceed. She won't let me tell you. The more frightened one gets, the more tired the soul feels. This is called spirit training. Do not let them win. Continue search and finish your task. Please read this very carefully. Ah. At the end of the corridor, you'll see a series of doors down the corridor. Take a mental note of each. Man, like, I'm pretty sure I have aphantasia. I can't see things like this. The doors may not be safe. You may encounter entities in the rooms. It's normal, however, be mindful that their senses will not like to, but the entities may rely on sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing to judge. Can you must obtain one item of each room to 5 items by the time you're finished. If items not truly random, you may see something eccentric. Just visit a 5 rooms, gather 5 items to see a glowing red exit sign. If it's glowing any other color than the red, do not enter it. If you're colorblind, you'll still be able to tell the difference since you're not seeing through normal eyes. So look for a new exit sign in one of the 5 rooms you've entered previously, but do not enter any circumstances enter any new rooms. If you find the glowing red exit, you may open your eyes and come back to whatever device you're using. During your travel down the corridor and mentions if you encounter one of the black veil of her face, do not look at her. If she tries to lift the veil, reveal her face to you. If she speaks to you, ignore her words, do not listen to what she says. If she follows you, do not turn around. If she tries to block you from entering your room, do not touch her or try to get by. Just go in a different direction. If them suddenly disappear, stay away from closets covered, so she may suddenly appear and attempt to drive you in. Fun. I can't, like, do this. Like, I'm streaming. It's a very boring stream if I sit here and just... Cool. Cool. I'm sorry, but I kind of have to. Now what? I kind of want to know what happens if I end the session. We'll be waiting if you're able to return. Ooh. Oh, I can't continue. Oh. Well, I feel bad because a lot of those things I can't really do just because I'm streaming. I mean, unless you guys want to sit here in the stream with me just lying on my bed with my eyes closed for a while, that doesn't seem like a very entertaining stream. So perhaps we should do a different one. that I can do, hopefully. Uh, it seems like the twins is very similar to this game in that case, in the case of it requires you to do stuff. So I'm probably not going to play that one because I don't want to have to do stuff. So let's go ahead and remove that from my games to play. I guess let's play the questionably quirky quiz show. I kind of expected this game to be similar to the other games, in which case they had ooh. I expected it to be like the other games where they had just asked us questions. We didn't actually have to like physically move around anywhere. Because this is not a very interesting stream if I have to go up and go to the bathroom in the middle of it. You know what I mean? So let's see. Okay, so let's switch to something a bit more upbeat, I guess. Because, you know, talking about death is not very fun. I'm going to just grab this paper as well. Because... Cool. Okay, new game. Hi there, welcome to the Questionably Quirky Show with your host, Gabby McGobblenuts. For those of you who are new here, allow me to explain what we have in store for you. You see, I'm going to ask you a series of questions that range from simple to absolutely freaky, deaky, ridiculous. In turn, you're going to provide me a series of answers. Based on your quality of answers, you'll be rewarded points. I just thought about this. I'm gonna look at the reviews of the summoning, because I'm curious what people have said. So a lot of people really liked it and a lot of people really didn't like it. Yeah, so it seems like kind of back and forth about whether or not people really liked that game. So well, the answers are available. I'll have varying amounts of points assigned to them. If your answer is among the most commonly chosen for the surveyed on the questions, then you'll be awarded less points than if you picked an uncommon or rare answer. However, while a high number of points means that you're great at picking uncommon answers, it does not guarantee you a solid win. Each episode of Triple Q will set of winners determined by how many players get the good old Granny Grape Shaft's point total. Ooh, my point total. What was it again? Ah, it was... Whoa, now hang on there, Granny. We won't reveal your point total until the beginning of the next episode. If we told everyone your points now, it'd be supremely easy to cheat the system, and that wouldn't be any fun, would it? Well, I suppose that does make sense. So with that being said, we're going to ask you a series of questions, and you're going to answer them to see your point total. Once you have your point total, all you have to do is leave it in the comment section for us. If your total matches all Grammy, your name will be selected and you'll be announced as the winner of our next episode. If you're joining us late and winners have already been declared, fear not. For every season, we're doing a grand finale episode where we go through a pick a random bonus winners to be in the finale. I'll also include all our participants, whether you win or lose, in the credits of future titles simply as a token of our appreciation. Yep. Oh. Sounds simple, right? This isn't too complicated. Let's just be a part of history. Okay, yeah. QQQ attempts to bring everyone together for laughs, good times, to see how quirkalicious we really are. So without further ado, shall we get started? The first round of questions will be rather simple and straightforward. Don't think too hard on them, just pick the answer that resonates the best with you. The most important part is to be honest with your selections. Yep. Here we go. Witty or charming? Witty. Soda or coffee? Soda. Love or hate? I'm assuming hate's gonna be the fun one, but love. Yeah. Deep fry or break? Oh, deep fry. Broken or whole? Broken. Painting or photo? Photo. Rap or metal? Metal. Guitar or drums? Drums. Boneless or bone-in? Boneless. Peninsula or hot fudge sundae? Hot fudge sundae. Canadian bacon or turkey bacon? Canadian bacon. Stuffed crust or deep dish? Stuffed crust. Good sportsman or sore loser? Good sportsman. Puzzles or riddles? Puddles. Ice cold water or room temperature water? Ice cold. Drunk text period or drunk text next? I don't have X's really. Cremation or burial? Cremation. Let's go 13. Movie or book? Movie. Laundry or dishes? Laundry. Cookies or brownies? Cookies. Comedy show or dance club? Dance club. Think Grabby or Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto. Wasabi or sriracha? Neither technically, but let's go wasabi. Donate kidney or donate bone marrow? Bone marrow. Cracker nickels or cracker back? I like cracking my back more. Overcooked or undercooked? Overcooked. Fruit smoothie or milkshake? Fruit smoothie. Rookie or expert? Rookie. Chocolate or peanut butter? Chocolate. Peanuts or almonds? Almonds. Shrimp or crab? Shrimp. Lobster or steak? Lobster. Botox or facelift? Probably facelift. Grumpy or moody? Moody. Easy password or hard password? Hard password. Peas or carrots? Peas. Bark or bite? Bark. Old school or new school? New school. Ordinary or extraordinary? Ordinary. Spirit animal or horoscope sign? Horoscope sign. Camping or hiking? Hiking. Music or podcast? Music. Read a book or listen to music? Music. Weekend or weekday? Weekday for me because I work weekends. Villain or hero? Villain. Villain's fun. Hot tea or iced tea? Hot. Vampires or werewolves? Vampires. Makeup or no makeup? Here we go. Filter, no filter, no filter. Alright then, I think that does about for that round. You're well on your way to a decent score. Something tells me you're a smart cookie, but I could be wrong. Then a bag of nipples and you're just getting lucky. This next round will separate the winners from the losers. You chance to prevent is worth extra points, so make sure you take your time with these ones. Hope you're ready, because here we go. Trip and fall every time you sneeze, or sneeze every time you use a left hand. Trip and fall every time I sneeze. Deaf or mute? Mute. Tailor all your clothes. I have to pay 5 times the price for it. I'd rather learn to tailor my own clothes. Should we cheat on repeatedly, never find out, or cheat on somebody but have to tell them the truth? I'd rather live in ignorant list. Pay for sex or be paid to have sex? I'd rather get paid. Be invisible to all men or invisible to all women? I guess... all men. Only be able to express your sexual desires by using emojis or memes. Give up bathing or give up internet and Wi-Fi? I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go with bathing. Smell like a rotten dumpster or have everyone already smell like a dumpster? I guess I would rather everyone else. Would you rather never have to work again or never have to sleep again? Never have to sleep. Pull 5 teeth, or give your father a rectal exam. Sorry, Dad, you're getting a rectal exam. Ugh. Have really bad allergies every second of every day or be allergic to all of your favorite foods. I guess I'd rather be allergic to all of my favorite foods. So any dirty ticket? I'd rather receive it because that means that I'm not sending it. I'd rather see everyone else's future. Be able to live in a place where the weather's always hot and sunny and always cold and rainy. Hot and I guess I'll say cold and rainy. Random clothes that your friends pick for you, clothes that your mother picks for you, friends. Instantly no sign language or instantly no foreign language, sign language. Or ears big as, I guess elephant-sized ears. Or tentacle arms. Be able to speak and understand all animals or fluently speak foreign languages. Rather have to dance for 3 minutes or give a 30-minute speech with 1,000. Dance for 3 minutes. Be an only child or have 10 brothers and 10 sisters. Be an only child. All your clothes be one size too big or one size too small. This includes shoes and sisters, one size too big. I guess Great Wall of China. I have a less of a chance of dying. Incredibly attractive, but I'd rather be unattractive but intelligent. Soaking wet clothes, I guess. Would you rather swallow a razor blade or bite off a chunk of your own tongue? Ugh. I guess I have less of a chance of dying with the tongue one, so. Bungee jumping or skydiving? Bungee jumping. Eight feet tall and weak or 2 feet tall and superhuman strength? I'd rather be small with superhuman strength. Would you rather permanently live in a submarine or permanently live in a hot air balloon? Hot air balloon. Watch others have sex or have others watch. I'd rather just watch because I don't want to have sex. Expert marksmanship. Hand to hand, I feel like would be more useful for me. Foot-shaped head or head-shaped feet? Let's say head-shaped feet. Rather always wear a diaper up your clothes. I have to wear a very short skirt. I'd rather go with the skirt. Have to lick the floor in a public bathroom environment or lick the inside of a public toilet bowl. 30 seconds. 1. Have your neck kissed or have your toes sucked? Isn't having your neck kissed pretty normal? Would you rather your entire wardrobe consists of only black clothes or black? Because it pretty much already does. Have you screamed your last name every time or first name right before you leave a room? I'd say leaving. Sense of smell, sense of taste. I guess sense of taste. Hearing or sight? Hearing. Have a nose where your belly button is supposed to be or have a belly button on your forehead? Have to ride a bike everywhere you go, walk everywhere you go. Ride a bike everywhere I go. Be a founder and small leader of a small colony and a planet, be a country of any planet you choose. Eat way too much or eat way too little? Way too little. Rather be a famous musician or a famous actor? Musician. Teleport wherever you go, control teleport. Marry the smartest person or marry the sickest person in the world? I'm gonna say sexiest, but not for the reason you think. I'm gonna say that because the smartest person in the world would acknowledge that they should not be marrying me. I get to choose. Incredibly thick body hair, no body hair. No hair at all. Neither eat solid food and neither drink liquids. Never eat solid foods, I guess. Interesting. Quite interesting indeed. Your answers are certainly quirkalicious. You're really racking up the points too. Now this final section is critical round because some of these questions will be worth extra bonus points. I hope you're ready to give your quirk on because you've got in for a couple of doozies. Oh, by the way, there's also only my question thrown in there. If you manage to hit it, you'll know what I mean. Now here we go. Do you believe in perfect happiness? No. Do you ever live your life in fear? Yes. Do you have a trait that you truly hate about yourself? Yes. Do you feel like there's something truly special about you? Not really, no. Do you have a great attachment to a particular position of yours? Not really, no. Are you currently happy? No, because I'm sick. Do you believe that happiness is overrated? No, not really. Have you ever told a lie? Yes. Is there something you strongly dislike about your parents? Yes. Is there a living person that you truly despise? Yes. Is there a particular physical trait that you find attractive in others? Not really. Is there a particular mental and emotional trait you find attractive in others? Yes and no. I'll say yes. Have you ever felt starstruck? No. Do you admire anything about your best friend? Duh. Do you think your best friend admires anything about you? I'd hope so. Do you ever overuse a particular word? Definitely. Have you ever fallen hopelessly in love? No. Can you remember the happiest moment of your life? Not really, no. Would you consider yourself to be talented? I don't really think so. Is there a particular talent you wish you had that you feel you may never attain? No. Because I feel like I can obtain it if I worked hard enough. If you could choose one thing about yourself, would you? Yes. Do you have a particular personal achievement you're proud of? Yes. If you knew that when you died you're going to come back to life after 10 minutes, would you volunteer to die for science? Sure. As a mythical creature of your choosing, would you give up your current life? Sure. I don't know what mythical creature I'd choose, but sure. Do you feel like you're destined for greatness? Not really. Are you currently living in your dream home? No. Are you ever envious of what other people have? I think we're all envious at some point. Do you consider yourself to be a jealous person? No, not really. Do you typically trust your friendships over personal possessions? Yes. Do you feel like you're loved in life? It's hard to admit that, but yes. Do you feel like you've experienced the lowest depth of misery that you'll ever will? No, I feel like I'm gonna experience worse. Are you currently pursuing your dream job? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be flawed? Oh, definitely. Would you consider yourself to be adventurous? I meant to click no, but cool. Do you have a regret that eats you inside? Yes. Could you live without electricity for a year? No. Would you consider yourself to be hot-headed? No. Is there someone who left because of you a great deal of anger? Yes. Do you know how you'd prefer to die? No. Actually, yes. Are you afraid of death? Yes. Do you believe in an afterlife? No. Do you have a personal motto? No. Not really. Do you like to watch reruns of your favorite shows? Yes. Have you ever won any type of contest? Yes. And you might just might win another one. Are you a thrill seeker? No. Do you sometimes play with things too safe? Yes. Do you feel like true love is worth waiting for? Sure. Would you donate an organ to science? Yes. Would you donate an organ to save a stranger's life? Yes. Would you donate an organ to save a life? Yes. Have you ever wished that you had different parents? Yes. Have you ever fantasized about having superpowers? Not really. If you could choose to be bitten by mistakes that might venom murder, would you take the chance? I didn't mean to click yes, I would have clicked no, but cool, shoot. Do you feel like you deserve your best friend? No. Do you feel like your best friend deserves you? Yes. No. Yes. Do you ever wish that you had more friends? Not really. Do you ever wish that you had better friends? Sometimes, yeah. Do you think you'd enjoy growing up in your parents' generation? No. Do you think you could survive being digitally trapped inside your phone for a week? No. If you knew your next birthday would be your last, would you do something crazy? Probably not. Have you ever been lost in the woods? No. Would you keep alone in the woods, no contact for a week? No. Do you hope that you'll live to be older than 100? Honestly, not really. If you could go back in time, would you? No. If you could change one thing about your past, would you? No. If you could somehow alter the future, would you? No. Just let fate do its thing. Would you give up cell phone usage for $1 million? Cell phone and not computer? Yes. Has anyone told you that to trust you? Yes? I feel like everyone could say yes to that. Have you ever betrayed someone that trusted you? It depends on how you view it, because to me, I didn't betray them, but to them, it might have seemed that I betrayed them. You know what I mean? So I'll say yes. Have you kept a diary? Yes. Have you read someone else's diary? No. If you lost your taste buds, would you start eating only healthy kinds of foods? No. Honestly, no. Yes, I would. Power to instantly remove someone's clothes once per day, would you ever use it? No. Have you ever played Truth or Dare? Yes. Have you ever wished you were born with a different name? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be a meme connoisseur? No, honestly, no. Have you ever feared that you might become a viral meme? Yes. If aliens were trying to abduct you, would you willingly go with them? Sure. If you could erase someone's memory for 24 hours, would you do it? No. Have you ever had to choose between a friend and a family member? No? I don't think so. Have you ever wanted to live underwater? No. Have you ever wanted to live high up in the mountains? No. Have you ever wanted to live surrounded by snow? Definitely not. I don't like snow. If you could actually transform into a pig with wings. Yes. If someone bought you a lottery ticket and hit the jackpot, would you split 50-50 with them? Sure, that's only fair. Do you ever wish that you could swap bodies with someone else? Yes. Do you ever fear that you might suddenly lose... No, not really. That would be crazy. I'd only have to ask you one more question repeatedly to get through the quiz. Anywho, moving on. Do you fear that... Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just effing with you. Yeah, I know. Couldn't help myself. Would you do it? No. Landmine question. Landmine question. Kaboom. Kasplurge. Plowski. Quick, defend. No. Are you sure? I'm sorry. I just wanted to see what happened. Well, this is awkward. Because you just hit the landmine. Kaplow. All of your points are now gone. What? I'd be like starting over, loser. Teach you to reject Gobby McGobble next. Hey, Gobby, how can I help? Hello, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir is not aware of that. Yes, sir, I read you loud and clear. Won't happen again, sir. Gobby promises. Apparently, I don't have the authority to remove your points, but my boss does have the ability to remove my job position, so I guess I'll just let this one slide for now, and we'll consider this and pretend this never happened. Anywho, if you had the power to instantly hypnotize people, would you ever use this power for evil? No. If you could walk through the walls, would you use the power to spy up? I meant to click no. If you're accused of a crime that your parents committed, would you turn them in? Yes. They're still see, would you attempt to sneak out? Yes. If you could 3 times quick walk back to good, would you always walk backwards? Yes. No. But everyone would think you're crazy, would you still talk to them? Yes. Do you ever neglect important? Yes, I do. Do you think you can manage to accomplish? Oh no, we're all dying. You'd to an octopus at will, would you? No? Do you believe that happiness can be bought? No. If you knew that you could commit any crime without being caught, would you live the life of a criminal? Nah. If you found the fountain of youth, would you attempt to profit from it? No. Snakes are actually some place every time we food, would you ever fly again? Probably not, no. Well, that about wraps things up. You provided excellent answers, and now it's time to add up your point total. Let's see here. Add this number here. Check that number there. Carry the 2. Multiply this thingy over here. Divide whatever that symbol is. Throw in a shoe. And your point total is... I have no effing idea. Sorry. I never bothered to learn math. How can I help? Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So apparently your point total is... Wow! Congratulations! A solid point total of 435. I'm going to go ahead and comment that on the Steam just before I forget. Let's see. Nice job and well done. This is certainly a high score. Oh, that's interesting that you said that because my score is... Shut it, Granny. Okay, then. Poor Granny. Now in our next episode, we'll have the contestants back on the show where we find out if your score matches old Granny Grapeship's show score. And even if you don't win this time around, there's still amazing things in store just for participating. I can promise you that. Hello again, sir. Oh, interesting. I'll let them know right away. Thank you, sir. I've a wonderful day now. Turns out my boss wants me to give you a message. Apparently, based on your results and how you choose to answer, he has a secret word for you. Your secret word is... special. Ooh. Well, that's nice. That wraps up this episode of QQQ. I'm your host, Gappy McGobblenuts, and we'll see you in our next announcer winners in round 2 and get quirky. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to tip your goblins. Don't forget your title. We hope to see you again. If you laugh, smile, yeah. Chasing demons. They're talking about chasing demons again. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. So I went ahead and posted my point total and my special word. So this person got 416. I'm blessed. 426 positivity. 409 special. 468 and pleasant. 431 pleasant. 417 special. 435 beautiful. Somebody else also got 435. But their secret word was beautiful. That's interesting. That's actually very interesting. In my opinion, at least. And I think that's all I'm going to do for this stream, just because this is a pretty lengthy stream already. Yeah. For anyone who isn't here, thank you for joining me. It was a strange stream today. I'm still sick, as we can tell. I'm sorry the first game didn't work out, but yeah, thank you for joining me and see ya.